My name is Bob Simmons and I'm one of the directors at Baines Simmons. So after 20 years of the requirement for operators to have a CAMO to manage their continuing airworthiness, I believe that the perception about the value that it can add is still missing something. I believe that a CAMO is not just a planning and a records department. It needs to be more proactive and it needs to be more responsive to what the aircraft are telling them. So there is much more value, I believe, that can be accrued from operating the CAMO in a way that really contributes to the operation. So for the CAMO to be truly effective, it needs to understand that its role is entirely to support the operation with the aircraft that it needs. In essence, the aircraft should just keep landing serviceable. Now that's not just a matter of managing the aircraft in accordance with the manufacturer's recommendations, but it's more about projecting forward to understand what might affect the airworthiness of the aircraft and to prevent those things from creating delays or diversions in the operation. So for the CAMO to be truly effective, it needs to be thinking in a continuous improvement sort of way. So I think over the last 20 years, we've stayed in a mindset of planning and of records and doing the manufacturer's recommendations. Now, of course, you have to start with those, but for a smart CAMO to really add value, it really needs to be thinking proactively. It needs to reignite its engineers' thinking to look forward and to actually come up with solutions that are going to ensure that those aircraft do keep landing serviceable. It's a matter of reigniting their passion about airworthiness and engineering and getting them to think broader than within those constraints that they have been working in the last couple of years. So I believe that SMS as a concept has to be carefully handled. If you think of it as a separate bolt-on system, then it doesn't contribute as much as it could into the overall success of the organisation. So the mindset and the thinking behind safety risk management, as it should be more appropriately known, it is about looking at the wider issues that could affect the outcome of the organisation. And therefore, thinking about things that could harm any aspect of the performance of the organisation is the way in which you can integrate your thinking to include safety, continuing airworthiness, reliability, etc. So actually, I believe there is a real opportunity from the introduction of safety risk management in the way in which people think and anticipate problems that could affect their aircraft. So I do fundamentally believe that the introduction of those new requirements can add value, commercial value, safety value, compliance value, airworthiness value. So airworthiness reviews are so much more than just a survey and a compliance check. I fundamentally believe that if your airworthiness review staff are seeking evidence that demonstrates continuous improvement, whether that emanates from within the CAMO or from within the maintenance organisation or indeed within the operation, it doesn't matter. But what they should be doing during their airworthiness review is not just seeking assurance that the aircraft is airworthy and compliant, but actually looking for those little telltale signs that show that something isn't being captured or that the system is not proactively preventing some degradation from happening. So the airworthiness review is a way of ensuring that the management system is effective rather than just ensuring that the airworthiness of the aircraft is correct. So an effective CAMO can do so much more than just provide the operator with the airworthy aircraft. And of course, that's the fundamentals of the whole raison d'etre for the organisation. But actually, if you look at the impact on the bottom line in terms of your improved passenger retention, customer retention, if you look at the reliability of the aircraft and the cost of delays, the reduced compensation for passengers that have their travel disrupted. There are some clear commercial benefits to actually getting this right. So reigniting your CAMO or evolving your CAMO to the next level is going to pay hand over fist in terms of the benefits that it brings back to the organisation. So Baines Simmons can help you get the most out of your CAMO by evolving your thinking, actually ensuring that you're set up for success, that your roles and responsibilities, and that actually the way in which the organisation thinks really contributes to some of those improvements that I've talked about. So we can help you to shift your thinking built upon sound regulatory compliance and an organisation that's structure that actually really flows into supporting the operation.